For thousands of years, people practiced yoga in India without using yoga mats. For most of this period, yoga consisted predominantly of seated breathing and meditation work, so there was no need for the type of mats we use today. Those early yogis who were looking for a more supportive seat would often use grass or soil, or would sit on animal skins or cloths. More recently, beginning around the late 1800s, more physically challenging asanas, also known as poses, started to become more popular, and with that came the need for a more supportive and stable practicing surface. Over time, some yogis began to use woven rugs, made from cotton or synthetic alternatives, to practice upon. While these rugs provided a rudimentary surface, and were certainly an upgrade from the earlier, more basic cloths, they were not really providing the right kind of grip, stability, or cushioning. By the 1960s, the more dynamic, posture-based yoga that had now been developing in India for several decades was really catching on in the West. And towards the end of the 60s, there was a turning point for yoga mat development when one particular yogini cleverly adapted a piece of foam carpet underlay into a yoga mat, which laid the foundation for the mat as we know it today. By the 1980s, these so-called sticky mats were firmly established on the yoga scene. However, a common problem with these early sticky mats was that they didn't last very long. Their soft foam material tended to deteriorate far too quickly. In the 90s, harder and tougher mats made from polyvinyl chloride, otherwise known as PVC, became the standard. But it turns out there are some big issues with making yoga mats from this material. Now, PVC is a useful material for things like underground piping that do need to last for a really long time. However, it's not so great, environmentally speaking, for our yoga mats to have such a long lifespan. The problem is that PVC is not easy to get rid of. In fact, not easy is a pretty huge understatement. When yogis throw away their mats, they are most likely to end up in a landfill, where a PVC mat could take hundreds or even thousands of years to fully break down. And what's more, the chemical compounds resulting from the biodegradation of PVC are highly toxic. So these discarded mats are not doing the ground they're buried in any favors either. If these PVC mats end up in a municipal incineration facility, the results are even more frightening. Burning PVC produces dioxins, which are some of the most toxic chemicals ever known to humans. And no matter what the internet says, PVC yoga mats are hardly ever recycled, for both practical and economic reasons. Apart from all that, neither these PVC mats nor the mats made from a few other materials that emerged over the 90s and noughties truly delivered all the actual practical benefits yogis are really looking for in a mat. And the right kind of grip is arguably at the top of most people's list. Typically, mats became slippery, sometimes dangerously so, when yogis sweated on them, an issue that has persisted for decades. As a result, many yogis started using absorbent towels on top of their mats. Towels that tend to flap around distractingly and require constant adjustment, taking yogis' attention away from their practice, not to mention the wasted water and detergent pollution from frequently washing these towels, or the added cost of buying them in the first place. It's all a bit daft, really. In the year 2013, the innovators at LIFORME,
or LIFORME, right?
introduced the world to their revolutionary yoga mats. After teaming up with some of the world's best scientists and materials engineers, and with feedback from countless yoga teachers and students, they spent more than 5 years researching and refining on a mission to build a better yoga mat from the ground up. 2 layers up, to be exact. The base layer is made of sustainably sourced natural rubber, which is produced using high-quality ingredients that are non-harmful to humans. The carefully controlled density of this layer provides that all-important balance between firm stability and cushioning to protect yogis' joints. The top surface is made from a unique and specially engineered eco-friendly polyurethane that is completely non-toxic. This material is soft to the touch and non-abrasive, and yet provides optimum grip when you need it, even when sweaty wet. Crucially, These mats are biodegradable in normal landfill conditions within 1 to 5 years. That's right, 1 to 5 years, compared to hundreds or thousands of years for a typical PVC yoga mat. The guys at LIFORME even had the great idea of putting helpful markings on the surface of their mats to help yogis set up their poses correctly. And the wise yogis of the world have quickly caught on. LIFORME's game-changing mats are now providing a truly steady and comfortable practicing surface for yogis all around the planet. Come, join the revolution. Discover more at liforme.com.